Hello, tchotchkes. Welcome back to another episode of the Cha Cha Beat. You know those cartoons or even in TV shows or movies sometimes where you've got like the person, the main character in the middle, and then they have an idea and on their shoulders pop the angel and the devil, and they're kind of giving them the different opinions on what's good, what's bad, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. And I feel like that's, like, my everyday existence with the cha-cha beat. Like, on one shoulder, I've got the angel cha-cha being like, "You can do it. This is gonna work. It may not be a normal, like, niche that people are looking for, and this may be a little out of the box, and maybe you're not doing a hook and a, like, 3-point episode, and you're not teaching something, but it's revolutionary, and it's original, and it's authentic, and this is gonna work. You just gotta be patient, cha-cha. This is gonna work." And then on the other shoulder, I've got the devil cha-cha being like, "Who are you kidding? Nobody cares. Nobody cares who you are. Nobody cares what you think. Nobody cares. Stop trying. This is stupid. You are stupid. What's the point? Just go, like, just give up already." And basically, all day, every day is like a battle between these two parts of my personality of like, yes, like I've got something. Like I know in my gut that like I have something that's going to resonate with people because I'm speaking honestly, I'm speaking heartfelt, I'm speaking with love and conviction and vulnerability and authenticity. And yes, it may be a little rocky to get started, but of course it is. Like no one ever started anything new and like was straight out of the gate, like, brilliant at it. Like, you have to start at the beginning. You have to be a beginner and allow yourself to get better. You have to let yourself be bad so that you can practice and get better. And then almost as soon as that thought ends, I've got the other thought of, "Who are you kidding? This is stupid. People only wanna watch AI things and, videos with, like, all of these superimposed edits, and the fact that, like, this is just a video of one camera sitting facing me. There's no multiple angles. Like I've tried doing the multiple angle thing. Like, yeah, sure, it's fine. But like in the end, it was just a lot of extra work for me. Like I'm just one person doing all this and trying to learn as I go how to do all of these edits and video compilations and build up this channel and write my book, which I'm not going to go off on the tangent of, oh, I'm writing a book and blah, blah, blah. Talk about it in a moment. Like, I'm trying to do so many things at once. Like, something had to give. And, like, it's one camera angle. It's one camera angle. And I'm not doing all of these, like, fancy edits because, like, honestly, when I'm watching a video, like, I don't like when there's all these, like, fancy like, edits coming in. I feel like I'm a kid, like a little kid. Have you seen, like, little kid cartoons these days? It's like you're having a seizure. Like, it is like strobe lights coming at you of, like it's just not a, like, steady, consistent, easy, relaxing image. It's just like, "Woo, woo, 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 woo," just, like, all these flashes and cuts to and sound bites and like you watch like a 10-minute video on YouTube of this and like you're just like exhausted. Not to mention the editor is probably exhausted because that's like a lot of work to plug all that in. And yet this guy's like, nobody cares. Nobody cares about you, Cha Cha. Nobody wants to read your book. Why would anyone want to read anything that I'm writing? Like I'm writing a book. It's a memoir. And then as soon as I say that, people or this little guy on my shoulder is like a memoir. Like, first of all, like, how old are you? Like, you're too young to write a memoir. And by now, I am 41. So I'm a little bit older than I was when I first started talking about it. like 10 to 15 years ago, then they were really laughing at me or snide commenting at me of like, what do you have to say? What have you lived to actually write a memoir? And then also, like, who are you? Like, you're not famous. I haven't survived a terminal disease. I haven't invented anything. I haven't won anything. Like, I'm no one of significance. So, like, why would anyone want to read my memoir? I don't know, maybe because you're no one of significance either. And sometimes it's just nice to read and connect with the character that is just like you. And if it is written beautifully in well formed prose and thoughtful language and provokes emotion and thought and laughter and anger and sympathy and empathy and just all of the emotions that you go through whenever you read something that is quality reading, written quality, like to a certain extent, it doesn't even matter what the story is as long as it's written well. Two different people can tell you a story about walking to the bus stop, and it's the exact same story, but one person can tell it with flair and pizzazz and humor and struggle and suspense, and the other person can tell it in the most banal, pathetic, boring, straightforward way. Like to a certain extent, like the story, it doesn't matter. It's the art of how you tell the story that is what counts. So what do you have to say to that, little negative guy? Or I guess it would be a gal, because like why would I have a man on my shoulder? Negative gal on my shoulder. And she doesn't really have anything to say to that because like there's no way to prove that I'm wrong, right? Like the idea that I have in my head for the cha-cha beat for my book, Let Me Out, I'm Stuck, which is the name of my book, my memoir. Like the idea that I have, as far as I know, these ideas have never been expressed before. I'm not copying what I've seen someone else do and I'm like, oh, I'm going to put my own little spin on that. Like this is a totally independent, original concept that I came up with without being, I mean, everything is derived on, inspired by what has come before us. Like that is impossible to avoid. But I'm not, this is not a remake. This is not a sequel. This is not a spin off of. This is a completely original manifestation of what I've got going on inside my head. And so there is no like real way for this critic on my shoulder to like factually dispute and tell me that I'm wrong and tell me that this is a waste of time and that I'm going to fail, because that's impossible to know that I'm going to fail. And yet, she continues to jibber jabber all day, every day. And even when this guy or this gal is really feeling great and she's like, yes, this is gonna work. Like I've got something. I know that I have the ability to speak and write and connect to people and make them feel something and entertain as well as perhaps provoke or enlighten. Like this is possible. This is happening. I'm doing it. Even in those moments, just in the back of my head, I've always got this negative cloud being like, but yeah, but it hasn't happened yet. Of course it hasn't happened yet. I haven't actually really tried yet. I mean, I am now. I'm doing it now, but I've been talking about all this for like 15 years. A lot of talking myself out of, but a lot of, oh, what if, or I will, or I'll show you, and not actually like doing anything about it. And now I am doing something about it. And there's really no reason to believe that I'm going to fail. It may take a moment to actually like build an audience. It may take a moment to find all my tchotchkes out there, because I am not speaking to a specific niche. I'm not targeting a specific topic or subject line. I'm not going by SEO. I'm not following the like prescribed YouTube formula of like what works. So it may take a moment to build some traction, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna fail. And like this is like the extent of how like twisted my like critical mind is. So I have been playing around at practicing this whole YouTube thing for about 2 years now. I've been like on and off of YouTube. Now in the past couple months, like you'll see, like this is it. We're taking off now. No more stop and go. Like I have found my beat, essentially speaking. But before, like a year ago or so, when I was still trying to figure out, well, what do I want to talk about, and not really being willing to admit out loud that I was writing this book and to make that kind of the centerpiece of like what the cha-cha beat is revolving around. And I was still like, well, nobody cares about me, so I got to talk about something else. And also realized that I had like this great fear of talking on the microphone, so I was just looking for anything to talk about to kind of just get some get me going, get some practice. And so I decided that I was going to talk about feminism, because I had seen, YouTube was the algorithm was feeding me some videos on how feminism has kind of flown the coop, gone totally wackadoodle in the culture. Whether or not that was like the plan from the beginning, I don't know. But modern feminism now does not necessarily serve women. And I'm not going to like go into a whole diatribe on why that's true. If you are interested, I'll put some links in the description to this video to my earlier videos, and you can check out my thoughts on feminism there. The point I want to make right now is that one of those videos, I was reacting to another woman's video in which she was reacting to a speech made by the scholar, the feminist, the philosopher, Camille Paglia. And basically, like, I would play a little bit of this woman's video, whether it was her talking or Paglia talking, and then I would pause it, and then I would do my little commentary, and then I would keep going, and then pause, and so it went. And there was no script for this video, I don't think. I think I was just like winging it. And then following the instruction on like how to do YouTube, I gave my video a very incendiary title of, or I guess the thumbnail was very suggestive in why men are not the problem. And this video did really well, relatively speaking. As of today, or, the last time I looked at it like a week ago, and I was shocked to see this video has over 12,000 views. 12,000 views. That's like insane, considering that I only have like at this point like 300 subscribers. And granted, most of these views are coming from men in the manosphere who are not necessarily my target audience for who I'm writing my book for, because I would imagine that my 20, 25, 30, 35-year-old female protagonist voice is mostly going to resonate to young women and not necessarily to men, although men are more than welcome to read it. I would think that mostly women are going to like connect more with the voice of my writing. So these are not necessarily like my target audience. I there's still an audience, like 12,000 people. And so like on one hand, it's like, oh my God, like I can do this. Like there was no script for that video. I was just talking. I was just saying what I thought. And I got 12,000 people to check me out and to give me a chance and to enjoy what I mean, I don't know if they enjoyed it. I didn't actually look to see how many likes it had, and I'm not gonna do that now because it's not about the numbers. But my point is that on this like, almost at the same time that I'm having these thoughts of like, "Holy crap, like, I did this. I can do this. This is going to work." Like, if I can reach 12,000 people with this random video that, like, I'm not producing videos on the regular, and I'm not, like, really, like, putting myself out there. This was just kinda like a one-off practice that I was doing, like, if I stick with the cha-cha beat, like this is gonna work. And then on the other hand, like almost as immediately as I'm thinking that, it's like, but yeah, but like this is, you were talking about something that they were interested in. Yeah, but you were like talking in a specific niche to these like manosphere guys. Yeah, but you were doing a reaction video where I was like using someone else's content to like drive my own talking points as opposed to just speaking freely and being inspired by myself and sharing my own point of view without needing to bounce off another video. Yeah, but the average watch time of those 12,000 views was only 6 minutes. Yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but. And almost immediately after the initial shock and delight and joy of seeing, like, oh my God, like 12,000 views, like, that's incredible. I'm so proud of myself. That is incredible. Like, almost like instantaneously after having that thought was the yeah, but don't get too excited because you actually still suck. And around we go all day, every day. This is going to work. I've got it. All I got to do is practice. I believe in the cha cha beat. Yeah, but does anybody else? Does anybody care? No one wants to watch a YouTube video of me just talking. Like, I need to do a reaction video. I need to be in some kind of niche. I need to take a strong stand against something. I need to be teaching something specific. I need to be pretty much everything that I'm not. And it really just comes down to like, which of these two voices am I going to listen to? And for a long time, I listened to the negative voice of like, why even try? What's the point? Nobody cares. It doesn't matter. And maybe that's still true, but after years of listening to that voice and not producing any creative content and not sharing my voice, I feel like I went crazy. Like I was not happy. I was alone. I was sad. I was dissatisfied. I was unstimulated. I was bored. I was dead, essentially. Like I was living, but I wasn't actually thriving or producing or creating or laughing or trying or I wasn't failing, but I also wasn't succeeding in any way at all. I was completely stagnant, and I don't want to be stagnant anymore. Like, yeah, I was in like this little safety bubble of I'm not going to embarrass myself and I don't have to learn the hard way that nobody cares. But I also just like, okay, so I was listening to this guy, but this side of me like never really would go away of like, but what if I did try? Like, what if I did put my heart and soul and creativity and time and passion into building the cha-cha beat? Like, what if I did actually write this book beat by beat, chapter by chapter, and just like put it out there? What if I actually let myself be bad in public and start from the beginning and see what happens? Like, that voice never actually went away. And if anything, it just made me feel worse because I was like actively ignoring possibility and potential and curiosity in favor of staying stuck. And the whole point of my book, the whole the namesake of my book, Let Me Out, I'm Stuck, is a calling to myself, but also to all of us to break out of whatever negative, scared spiral we find ourselves in and start changing our lives, changing our minds, changing our thought processes, changing our actions, and not allowing outside circumstances or predetermined circumstances that we happen to be born into or grow into or move into or whatever it is define what our lives are going to be if that's not what we want our lives to be. And so like I found that despite having the idea of writing this book called Let Me Out, I'm Stuck, like I was not living, I was not practicing what I was not actually preaching, but thinking about preaching. And it just became so unavoidably obvious to me that like I've got to do something. Like this voice, this critical voice, it's probably never going to go away. I'm hoping that actually launching the Cha Cha Beat, putting this out there, talking about my book, sharing it with you, allowing you tchotchkes to engage with me will help give this guy a little social proof that I'm not crazy, that this may actually be a good idea, that I may actually have some kind of talent or skill or just, I don't know, spark that can be accepted and enjoyed and desired by the world, that I may actually have a voice and an opinion and a creativity that may not only entertain, but may inspire and provoke you to try to break out of your own negative situation, negative thought patterns. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I've no idea like what is going to happen, what is possible with this whole cha-cha beat book writing situation. I do not know what's going to happen, but I do know that as long as I keep letting the negative side of my thought process, as long as I keep letting the critic in me dictate whether or not I am good enough or smart enough or brave enough or committed enough or organized enough to actually get started or to actually put myself out there, I'm never going to find out. I'm never going to know what is possible or what I'm capable of. And so my point is, because at this point in the episode, you're probably like, oh my God, there she goes, talking about herself the whole time again. My point is that I'm talking about myself and I'm saying all of these like super embarrassing things about myself, about how scared chicken I am or was for so long, because I want you to know that you're not alone. You are not crazy or weird or wrong for having maybe this internal battle inside your head of should I or shouldn't I? Is this a stupid idea? Nobody cares. Why should I try? And my point is that you care. If you care and you can't seem to stop yourself from caring, even though you are constantly trying to convince yourself that you shouldn't care because it is stupid, you do care. And so why should you stop yourself? Like, life is long. And if you're not doing something that you care about, you're just gonna be miserable. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually, if you stuff those feelings down long enough, you will go crazy. I know, because I went crazy. I was on the floor crying, animalistic moans coming out of me, hyperventilating because I reached a breaking point of just being so unbelievably bored and dissatisfied and mad at myself because I just couldn't seem to actualize what I was so curious about whether or not I could do it. And now I'm not curious of whether or not I can do it. I am curious of what is going to happen because it is being done. And so, with that, tchotchkes, I want to invite you to check out my book. Please visit my website, chachabeat.com, where you can read excerpts from Let Me Out, I'm Stuck. Please, please, please like this video and subscribe to the channel because, like I said, this is it. We have officially launched the Cha-Cha Beat. I am not going to disappear for another 6 months as I brood over, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? Blah, 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 blah. No, I'm doing it. Whether or not my internal critic approves, there's no stopping us now, tchotchkes. We are in the forward trajectory and I can't wait to see what's going to happen, but you got to be patient. That's a very important lesson that I have learned along this 2-year road of actually getting to this point on YouTube is patience. So please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Check out my website, chachabeat.com. And until next time, keep calm and cha-cha on. Cha-cha.